Welcome back, everyone, to the College Football 25 Teambuilder Dynasty with the Houma Bobcats. Last episode was one of our weakest moments in the past several seasons. It's our first year here in the Southeastern Conference, and we have lost 2 straight conference games. After a win against Arkansas back in Week 5, we have now played Alabama and Texas back-to-back, and gotten progressively worse over the course of those 2 games. We had a 10-point lead against the Crimson Tide at halftime in that game, then went scoreless the rest of the way, and Alabama beats us by 7. Then we lose against Texas at home in a game where we could have bounced back and gotten back in the win column and moved above 500 in conference play. Instead, we dropped to below 500 with the loss, and Texas was in complete control the entire game. It only looked close at the beginning because that's when the scores tied. At the end of that video last episode, I did try to address some of my concerns with this team, especially on defense, because we talked about Chuck Carter and him being a guy that has really tended to give up those big plays in big situations, has had interceptions, the most on the team, in fact, in the first half or so of the year. But if we're going to give it those big scores and only have 1 pick six and a couple more turnovers to show for it, I think you might as well try something else and see if you can get rid of those big plays being allowed. We also try to remove cover 4 plays from our defensive playbook, but I think right now I'm leaning towards keeping Donnie Gesser as our number 1 corner and Henry Devers as our number 2 corner and Carter as our 3. But I am open to trying just a completely new defensive playbook, one of the ones that the CPU teams are often using. I'm open to trying one of those if things don't turn around fast. Because right now the defense is the weak point of our team. And I think outside of Dorian Combs, pass rush has become a concern as well. So we're going to give Garrison Coldflow a chance to start in place of Maloney as the rush right end, and we'll see Maloney more back into that traditional linebacker role to help stop the run. But that being said, I do like where the offense is right now. I think it's in a pretty good place. My only concern really has been the turnovers. We've seen a couple of games where Breda has really struggled to avoid some costly picks, and I would like to fix that, but it's not exactly one that you can fix easily. So I think I'm happy with the offense so far. We've had a really good balance of running and passing. So now what it's really about is our defense going to be better, because I think expectations were high coming in that our defense would be really good. So here we go. ULM on the road. Let's go. And we're going to see our defense first here as we get our final non-conference game of the year underway again against a Sunbelt Conference school. So, of course, the last 2 years we were the Sunbelt Conference champions. We moved to the SEC, and now things are a lot more difficult. So we're not going to have as good of a record as we had over the last 2 years, most likely. I'm still probably expecting one more loss in conference play against Tennessee or Vanderbilt or somebody like that. So there's no guarantees here, but at least things are a lot more interesting here in the SEC, right? And we should still be seeing some SBC schools the next couple of years, and that'll be kind of a good comparison between how the SBC games go against the SEC games. So we get a 3-and-out though to start the game, and now the offense comes out, and we're going to look to open things up early on and hopefully score first. We start with the run, and Newcomb just completely bulldozed a defender, only gains 3. We come out empty look. Breda comes in, 12 touchdowns, 8 INTs on the season. His first pass is caught by Hasty for a first down. After 2 plays, already inside plus territory as Newcomb runs ahead but gains nothing. They bring a 4-man rush. Breda's got a lot of time to throw and dumps it off to Newcomb, who gains 4. Now it's 3rd and 6. Would love to keep the drive going here in no man's land. And we will. It's Reggie Reese who hauls it in. From the 31, here's Breda escaping the pocket, and he's got room to run. Defender's not turning around. Not aware of the scramble, Breda gains 16 yards on the run. And now it is 1st and 10 from the red zone. That's a poor block right there by Cole Kane. Now they bring 5 on the rush. Hasty inside the 5 and rushing in to the end zone. Touchdown, Bobcats on the opening drive. A defensive 3 and out, an offensive touchdown. Just how you want to start a game in which you should be winning by multiple scores. Warhawks now trailing, take over at their 30-yard line. Here's a pass that nearly gets jumped by Donnie Gesser. It goes incomplete. I think this game is probably the worst game to kind of tell if our defense is going to be back to what the expectations were, because we're facing a much worse team in ULM. I forgot to actually check their roster and how they've done this year. They're only 4-4, so not too much better than we are used to from them. It's just kind of been at the bottom of the barrel of the SBC for the last couple of seasons, and they're going to punt the ball again. But piggybacking off what I was just talking about, I do think that our best test for this change to our defense and having Maloney back at linebacker only and having cover 4 out of our playbook, I think it's going to be our next conference game that gives you the best idea of whether or not our defense is going to be up to snuff for the future of this year and next year as well, because I think next year is going to be pretty big for us, because obviously this year we're kind of getting our feet wet, figuring out how things work here in the SEC and figuring out what a year in conference play might look like if you don't change much about your team, which we have not really made too many adjustments so far this year besides the ones from last episode. So I think that game against Tennessee or whoever comes first after this game is going to be the biggest and best time to see what things might look like for the future. Speaking of the future, there's Cal Harper, our #1 wide receiver, with a huge touchdown on our second drive, and the Bobcats are off to a very good start against the ULM Warhawks. A couple of nice downfield throws by Breda on these last 2 plays, and we are back in the end zone, this one from pretty far out. 1st and 10 Warhawks from the 20-yard line. No gainer on the opening carry. I've liked our defense so far. I will try and get 2 episodes in here if this one becomes a blowout, which is looking like it might be early on, as Dorian Combs can't bring him down, and Marco Knight escapes for the first down for the Warhawks in this game. Should have been a loss of 1 or 2 there on the sack, but this time Combs will wrap him up. He's not going to get out of it this time. That's going to be a loss of 6 for Marco Knight. And I would like to see somebody else besides Combs become a premier pass rusher, but so far we don't have that kind of a player. We just have a lot of guys that can give us both run stopping and pass rushing, but not to a high degree. Combs, though, is really good in both areas. 3rd down and 26. Knight is going to scan and just throw it away. And we, of course, hit their punter. I am so sick of this happening in this game. It's 4th and 26, man. Now it's a free 1st down. Give me a break. From their 34, I guess. 15 free yards plus a 1st down, but a nice tackle for loss made by Vince Pike. 2nd down. Here's a handoff and zooming upfield. Really nice carry. It's a gain of 11. Makes 3rd down a lot easier. Only 1 yard to go, and they will let the first quarter clock expire. First play of the second quarter, third down, and the Warhawks will convert. And a bad angle from DeVries will lead Quincy Massey to a massive gain. I think run defense has also been questionable for this defense for the better part of the last year and a half, going back to last season. There's a sack, though, for DeVries to back him up by 10. Play fake on second down. There's Combs again for his second sack. And the fourth from this Bobcat defense. It's a loss of 6. Our second chance to force a punt and not hit them this time. 3rd and 26 again. It's a slip screen that goes incomplete. And on this punt, from their own half again, we do not hit him. And the offense will take over. And now, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have time to record a second game. So, 2nd and 8 for the offense here. It's 14-0. We've looked really good on offense and defense. Screen, though, is not going to give us anything positive. But it's at least nice to see us kind of walk in here and control the opening of the game here after letting Texas beat us down last episode. So this is definitely a welcome change of pace. And now the Warhawks will get the ball back after a 3-and-out from the offense. They'll take over at the 43. Really good starting field position for UL Monroe. And we've seen this duo of Marco Knight and Quincy Massey previously, and I think we beat them down pretty bad in our last matchup, if I recall correctly. They've never really been a competitive SBC school, but in the first couple years, we had some crazy games against ULM, many of which the Warhawks came out on top of, and now they're going to get themselves on the board as Vince Pike just cannot bring down Massey, and he's off to the races. I would like to see our defense play better than this right now. Played pretty well to start things off. Last 2 drives have not been very good. This one especially, you got to make this tackle, man. It's one guy to beat, he can't bring him down. 8 to go here in the first half. Offense takes over, and so far the run game has been very, very slow to start. Warhawks have been all over it. It's a loss of 2. 2nd down, they bring a blitz, and Breda somehow got the pass away, but not close to completing it. Trying to avoid our second straight 3-and-out. It's 3rd down. I'd love to get a drive going here. Breda to Carper, and he is not going to get close. Another good spot to start from for the Warhawks as Knight is going backwards. And I've been asking for somebody else to be a good pass rusher besides Dorian Combs. But we get one here from Tevin Hippenhammer. We've had one so far from 3 other players besides Dorian Combs. So Darren Kennedy, Hippenhammer, DeVries all have 1. 5 in total. Now a slip screen complete to Massey, and he will get them 6 yards closer, back to the 40, and it's 3rd and 10. Just trying to do a more casual episode here, I think, because I don't have time to do a full 2 games. So we'll just kind of go through this one and kind of just talk over my thoughts on certain aspects of this team. But so far, besides that one missed tackle, defense is doing an okay job. But again, this is the wrong game to kind of test this change for. We're going to have to wait until next week, or next game, next episode to see if things actually look a bit different. But I have liked our pass coverage so far. It's the run defense that has concerned me. So as we see more of that, I'll add more comments. But offense has it, looking to get things going again. That is incomplete as Harper takes a shot downfield. And now it's 3rd and 5. Would love to avoid back-to-back-to-back 3-and-outs. Breda completes it to Reggie Reese. That was really good pass protection by the offensive line because they were bringing the house. So great job to pick that up. Now we got trips top of the screen here. And we will hand it off right into a wall of Warhawks defenders. What is it with the run game right now and not being very good? That's a loss of 3. Gonna try the run again with a sweep, and we gain nothing. They are all over it. 3rd and 13. They don't usually call second and long runs. That was definitely a fluke of a call there. Braid is gonna scramble and is not even close. 1st and 15 after a pre-snap penalty, and Knight will run ahead for a gain of 2. There's Maloney. It's the first time I've called his name all game long, besides talking about moving him from the edge back to linebacker. We have not seen Jaquez Michaud really have an impact on this game so far. He usually has a big play in mind at some points. It's only 14-7. I've been disappointed by the offense. Defense, though, you know, gonna wait to talk about them more as we will get off the field here. 1st and 10, offense trying to put some points on the board prior to halftime, and that pass is caught right in the basket. Touchdown, Cal Harper, his 2nd. First play of the drive. What an absolute bomb from Steven Breda. Right on the money. A perfect throw right to where Cal Harper was going to be. And that is a fantastic play. Love seeing big plays from this offense here after a rough game against Texas. Can we do this against conference teams? That's what matters, though. And that touchdown will take us to halftime. We lead 21-7 behind Cal Harper. A $127 through the air. 3 catches, 2 of them touchdowns. He's been really good so far. Offense has been very hit or miss, either a 3-and-out or a touchdown, nothing in between. Defense, besides this play right here, has been really good. So can't really complain all too much. It's about what we've seen before in games previous. Start of the second half, the offense will open things up with a run to Newcomb, his best of the day so far, as he gains around 8. Would love to establish the run here in this half, and just let us feel good about this run game heading into the rest of conference play to close the season. Because it is Newcomb's senior year after all, so I would like to at least see perhaps our best offensive year on the ground, because I think we have not really been too great in any one year so far. I would love to see us have a big rushing season, so this year is the best chance to do so. Newcomb's our best running back and our best player, so I would like to see that happen as the pass is knocked away, and he was looking for Vincent Tandy, the fullback, in the end zone. That was a very interesting call. We're already across midfield, though. 2nd and 10, quick throw. It's complete to Cal Harper again. He is inside the Warhawks 20-yard line. From the 16, quick throw, zipped and caught for a touchdown. Roland Hasty, his 2nd. He's got 2. Harper's got 2. Breda, he's got 4. Good way to start the half offensively. Can we add to it on defense? Quincy Massey is finally dropped for no gain, for what seems like the first time in this matchup. 2nd and 10. Knight's pass is a bit overthrown. And now it's 3rd down. It's not quite time to go for it on 4th down, but you got to think probably at the end of the 3rd quarter, if they're still down by this much, you probably go for it, but they won't even have to think about it here, as they will get the 1st down. Now they'll hand it off, and Massey just plugs right up the middle again. Just too many holes opening up. Would like to see these defensive tackles do a better job at the line of scrimmage making plays. You have yet to see that, except for like 1 or 2 in terms of pass rush, but so far, really not shutting blocks well, and our linebackers have not been filling those gaps, so I want to see better against the ground. That's a good play right there. Only 2 yards, but Massey, 12 carries, 100 total yards. He's had a really good day so far. They'll go to him again. Another good tackle. Another 3rd and long. Knight is going to escape the pocket, and nobody's even near him. He slides after a big, 20-yard gain. 1st and 10. It's Massey on the carry. Hit down again. 3 straight plays. Right as I was talking about it. Playing well against the run. He would keep it up the rest of the second half. Massey again. Gains 4. 3rd down. They will hand it off, and we are all over. That's Garrison Colclough with the tackle. Only a 1-yard pickup after a hole looked pretty open there. Field goal team comes out, and the kick is online. Half the quarter left to play. Offense back out there, trying to get the ground game reestablished, but no gain that time for Newcomb. It's not even his fault. It's just poor blocking and good defensive game planning by the Warhawks. I feel like Newcomb's done a good job when he's had the ball, but hasn't really had too many chances. As we break loose again, this time it's Enrique Cherador for touchdown number 5. The offense has had some really big plays. This might be our best offensive game in terms of the amount of big plays that we've had at different spots in the game. I mean, we had 2 methodical drives pretty much to open the game, and now we've had 3 straight drives with really big scores. I think I want to see our defense for at least 2 games against the SEC and then stick with it and not make adjustments if we win these next 2 games with our defense playing well. That was a great punt return, by the way, by Cherador, and we have it at the 24-yard line in UL Monroe territory. This is a great game just to get back on track, feel good about the rest of our year, and hopefully kickstart a win streak to close our season, because I think our playoff hopes are kind of vanished now with the 3 conference losses. We're probably not going to make the conference championship either, so I think our odds of making it to the CFP or the SEC title game are pretty much out of the window. So now it's about finishing our year strong, making the best bowl game possible, and trying to close the year with a game plan in mind and an offensive and defensive system in mind going into year 7. Play fake. Knight is sacked again. Number 3 for Dorian Combs. He's definitely going to win multiple awards just like a year ago. He has been amazing, man. 40 career sacks after pretty much not playing starting caliber minutes for the first 2 years of his career. He's got 40 now in his career, and these last 2 years, this one included, have been absolutely fantastic. And he's been better than a year ago as we almost pick it off. That was Damian G, I believe, who undercut that throw. Now it's 3rd down, 18 yards to go. Might be 4-down territory here as the screen is complete to Massey. And the Warhawks will still punt the ball away. Home crowd not happy. We're still going to watch the offense, though, as we get a handoff here to Newcomb to start this possession. We are already in 2+ territory after 1 play, and the 3rd quarter is over. We're in really good shape, looking really good. Let's close this game strong. Maybe we'll get a chance to see some of the backups later on, too. I might actually mass up our backups after this drive. 2nd down and 1, and we do have the backups in automatically without my change, so I guess we'll see Gallimore lead the backup offense here. Get the backup offensive linemen, the backup running backs and receivers, and just get the full scope of what the rest of this roster can do. We don't often see these guys play because I like to see full games from the starters, but I think this is a good game to see what the backups can get us and potentially give us things to think about in terms of who we can play at different spots to close the season. So 3rd and 1 here. It's going to be a first down for Tyreek Mulligan. Cheridor motions across. Gallimore launches, has a man open, but missed him. That was Spangler in the back of the end zone. Nobody near him. Gallimore just threw it a little too late and a bit too far. We're going to try the same exact play call, and this time it's dumped off to Cheridor, turning up the sideline. Gains 9. 3rd and 1 now. We come out empty. Showing pass with the 5 wide sets. Gallimore, quick throw inside the 10, first down. Goal to go for the offense. Gallimore's got really great protection, now scrambles and gains about 4. 2nd down. 5-man rush, and the pass is caught. And that is... I'm not even sure, honestly. Is that Brian Lair? Yes, it is. It's Brian Lair. A guy that didn't really see the field all too much back in his freshman year. I think he's still a freshman now as a redshirt freshman this season. And finally gets involved. Love to see it. 8:05 left to go. Warhawks have it, trailing by 7 touchdowns. We have been completely dominant so far. Now it's time for our backup defenders to come in. As Knight completes the pass, but it only gains 1. Surely they go for it here on 4th down if they don't convert. Still got Dorian Combs out there, though, alongside Darren Kennedy on this defensive front. Knight steps up and throws a pick. Our first of the game. The new number 11 in our secondary. One of our backups in place of Lehan, who wore that number a year ago and for 3 years prior to that. Waiting for a name here. Who is it? It is Marquise Levitt. That's right. I think he's he's one of our true freshman corners, Marquise Levitt. So one of our up-and-coming, promising young corners. He's like a 75 overall. Really good speed and solid man coverage guy. And is now wearing number 11, who was, or what was previously worn by Lehan, one of our best defenders in the series so far. We give the ball right back, though, to Yoel Monroe on the first play of the drive as Joey Amano jars it loose from Myslinski. And I think Myslinski was actually down. And how is there no review? He is down, and I can't even challenge it. It's too late. So I guess Warhawks take over. Knight stays in. Starters all in there for the Warhawks, despite being down by 35 points. And now we got our starters back in. Jaquez Michelle Maloney back out there. So kind of a mix and match of starters and backups, it seems. Interesting stuff there. Levitt, top of the screen. Knight will try and scramble, but Kennedy picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And time is going to expire for ULM. A dominant victory to get things back on track. Kind of resets for the rest of our year, but 45-10. I liked our offense a lot. I liked our defense. And outside of a couple of plays, a very, very well put together win on both sides of the football. Can't really complain. 5 touchdowns, no turnovers for Breda. That's a really good day. Bobcats move to 6-3 with the win. 19 first downs, over 500 yards of offense. I thought the ground game was better when the backups came in. Not so much when Newcomb was the primary tailback for some reason. 2 turnovers, both by the backups. Can't really give that any thought. But we hold Marco Knight to a less than 50% completion percentage. Can we just do this against the SEC schools, man? Because that was a really promising performance. Rushing wise, they tore us up. Not really surprised by that. Nobody was good through the air for them at all. We were in complete control there. We had no sacks allowed, I don't think. Receiving-wise, 2 players go over 100 yards. It's Cal Harper, only 1 second half catch. Chirador, and them both had some big touchdown catches. Rushing-wise, we get 1.7 per carry for Newcomb. That is really bad. And then when the backups came in, we got 6.2 a carry for Mislinski and 3 yards a carry for Mulligan. I guess we'll see about this run game, but I've been very unimpressed by it in about half the games this year. Breda, though, was fantastic. Only missed 3 throws. Over 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, no picks, no fumbles. A 20.1 average yards per pass is absolutely unreal. So very impressed by that. I thought we blocked very well for the pass, not so much the run. 4 sacks for Dorian Combs, 2 for Kennedy, 2 for Hippenhammer. That was great. So overall, good win. Now let's move on. And how about this? Dorian Combs wins Conference Defensive Player of the Week with that 4-sack performance. And he also wins National Defensive Player of the Week as well. How many sacks does he have now? It's gotta be like 16 or something. Breda also Offensive Player of the Week here in the SEC. And he does not win National Offensive Player of the Week. But now we have a massive game on the schedule for next episode against number 8 Tennessee. And we are still unranked. It'll be 2 straight weeks now without being ranked this season after those back-to-back losses. Are we getting votes at all for the polls? We have 3, but it's the lowest out of all teams. So we still have a lot of ground to make up. We're not going to get back to where I thought we could be by year's end, but we could at least finish the year ranked again like our last 2 seasons if we can win our next couple of games and pretty much win out. And that's going to start with number 8 Tennessee, who is 7-2 on the year. They're the reigning champions. They're 3-2 in conference play. It's going to be another real good test. And we've had some close games. Some blowouts too, but the close games have been really close. They really come down to the last couple of drives. And I hope the same is true for this game. But I want to see us look like a team that can definitively take down teams of this caliber on a regular basis. And I guess we'll find out next episode if that actually happens. If we update our stats, Cal Harper still is the number 1 guy on this receiving core. But a lot of touchdowns for a lot of different players. I like seeing that. I don't want to see one guy get all the volume. And defensively, it is 15.5 sacks for Dorian Combs. And I think he had 18 a year ago. Maybe it was only 15 or something. But he's, I think, on track to destroy what he had last year. 18.5. So one more game like this, and he will have passed his season record or his season high. So impressed by him. I think he's again in line to win multiple defensive awards. He is, of course, a senior now and has no more eligibility left, but glad to have him. I'm excited about where this can take him for the rest of his career. I think he's going to be a draft prospect for sure. And I guess we'll keep our eye on him on where he ends up getting drafted to and whichever round that might be. So, sucks that it's a senior, but had a good year last year. I'm hoping to bring in guys that can be that caliber of a pass rusher the next couple years, because I think for our secondary to play well, we have to have a good pass rush too, especially playing zone. Yeah, I got to have a good pass rush, otherwise zone won't work. We saw that against Alabama. We saw it against Texas, especially. Their quarterback had all day to throw every single time. So until we can get a pass rush that can consistently beat SEC offensive lines, we're not going to have the best defense that we're hoping to have. But that'll do it here in this one, guys. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe, comment down below, and have a great day.